The reason why people can't stay disciplined is because they're tapping into the side of them that's against them, you know, and they're not tapping into the side of them that is for them. And in my personal opinion, the side that's for me, I can't get access to that unless I get with God. The belief in yourself, you know, the moment you start saying that you're gonna do something and you stick to it, it's directly correlated to your confidence, right? So don't tell yourself that you're gonna do something, and then when you don't do it, it subconsciously it messes with your confidence, and it messes with
Yeah.
the belief in yourself, because it's like, oh, well, and now your words just don't mean anything anymore. Yes, sir. Go get into it.
Yeah, so prior to this video, me and Carlos were talking about this, and I told him that I was going to write some questions down to ask him. Just, we're still going to chop it up off the dome, but I wanted to have a basis of certain things I wanted to touch on while we're recording the video, certain things that I wanted to ask him, his perspective on it. And like he said, we're not professionals. We just
Yeah.
trying to share where we're at and the growth that we're trying to become, and provide any help that we can or inspiration to other people that are
Yeah.
trying to do the same thing.
Yep.
So, I mean, we're just going to get into it, man. So, the first one that I wrote was what are spiritual principles that you utilize, and also some that I can utilize to grow my brand and have it become successful?
Okay.
Or let's take the word successful out to have it become more meaningful.
Okay. Cool.
Because successful will be a result if the content is meaningful.
Yeah.
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Because then people would be more eager to want to check
Yeah,
it out or watch,
exactly.
I think.
Exactly. I think the most important spiritual principle, and to clarify too, not everybody that you don't have to be spiritual to apply spiritual principles. That's one thing that I've learned, is that for them to work. You don't
That's-
have to be a spiritual person for spiritual principles to work for you. You know, like, because spiritual principles don't discriminate.
That's fine.
You know what I mean? Like they work for anybody, whether they're spiritual or not. And so I think that the first spiritual principle, or principle
in
in general, is honesty. You know,
honesty.
and like honesty is very attractive because you're being true to yourself. You know, and so you're being your most authentic self, and that builds with your journey of content creation, because content creation is not just like, oh, I'm gonna make a video. Like, if you're dedicated to making content, you're gonna learn a lot more about yourself than anything else. And it's not about, like you said, the success comes with finding your person, your purpose. And this is one way to find your purpose, right? Is through content creation, because you're not doing it for an outcome. You're doing it, well, you are doing it for an outcome, right? But most importantly,
It's something we're enjoying.
aside from like reaping the benefits of what comes with content creation, like, you're doing it for the person that you're gonna become. You know, so I'm like, I read this one thing too, just to give you an example of what I mean, is like, this guy, I forgot who said this, but this guy said, become a millionaire, and not for the money, but for the person that you will become, you know, and who you will affect on the way, you know.
It's funny, bro. I was watching a video last night, and they were saying how, which I definitely agree with, but the perspective is that money doesn't make you. I forget how they worded it, bro, but
Yeah.
basically along the lines of like, money doesn't make you a better person. It just
It like amplifies
it
who
amplifies
you
who
are.
you are already.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, I was like, man, I was just reflecting, and I'm like, I don't know if I had all that success and that wealth at this moment, if I would be able to, if I would want to be the man
Yeah.
receiving it right now. Does that make sense?
No, that makes 100%
Yes.
sense, man. Like, and that is why, like, it's so important to know now that, like, there's nothing missing now. You know,
Yeah.
like, the desire of wanting more comes from God, because we want to be better men. We want to be better for our future generation, but it's cool to know that right now, that we know that that's still not the answer, that's not going to fix us.
Right.
Like we know right now that the answer is within us and with God. And like once we have that, like nothing else is missing.
That's
You know,
facts.
and so like it's cool that we know that now because, right, like imagine if we didn't know that and we become successful at these very high levels of wealth, and like we end up destroying our lives and on a
Yeah.
different level, you know.
Yeah. No, I always think about that.
But yes, like that's a good point. Yeah, it just amplifies who you are. Yeah.
And that kind of leads me. I know we can still like spin back on more principles, but another thing I was thinking about is because you know how because right now I just stream a lot of just gameplay on YouTube or on Twitch,
Yeah.
and I remember the last time we sat down and we were talking about just content creation in general. I was thinking about what can I do outside of just gaming that is more meaningful and can help other people in a way outside of just entertainment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because my main goal is like I don't want people to watch me just for strictly gaming. As much as
Yeah.
I like gaming, that's not like my main goal. My main goal is I want people to want to tap in with me because they genuinely like me as a person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that led me into this conversation I was having with my sister, and she was telling me, she was like, Santana, she was like, you should just start on TikTok, start making reels, and just do reels about what you go through on a daily basis in life, being 25, barely
Yeah.
in sobriety, the struggles with that, and just kind of build off of that in a way. And I'm like, man, like, I could do that.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
You
Yeah,
know?
that's exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah, and like that's it, because people, especially because you're on a different platform where people don't expect that from
Right.
that platform, right? Yeah, they expect entertainment, and they expect authenticity. But I don't like when I think of Twitch, I don't expect vulnerability.
Yeah.
You know, and so like that might be an avenue not tapped yet.
Because I would love to I would like to stream stream IRL content. Like
Yeah.
example, like right now what we're doing.
Yeah, yeah,
This
like
is IRL.
lifestyle, yeah,
Yes.
lifestyle content, yeah.
And more just about like what I do on a daily basis that is helping me become a better man, closer to my higher power.
Yeah.
Habits or things that I'm struggling with, like get more vulnerable. But then it comes back to that honesty thing. And sometimes I feel like I'll doubt myself and think, man, like I don't think people will want to watch that. Or I don't think, I don't know if that's entertaining.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, that's what I do though. I'll like behind the camera, like that's what I'm doing anyways.
Exactly.
And that's what I want to strive to be. So why not just pick up the camera or, record TikToks or whatever, or stream it like what I'm doing anyways.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, man, I mean that's I think that like back to your point of like part of you thinks that you won't be good at it.
Yeah.
You know? And like that's the part that you have to disregard in a way, because that's a side of you that doesn't want you to succeed, right? And like that's and like the more you tap into because the desire is there, like you want to do it, but there's something that's holding you back.
Yes.
And you have to tap into more of you wanting to do it, and then comes like after that, at least this I'm just saying from experience, when I started doing it is that's a way of me tapping into that power that wants me to, that's giving me that desire within. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like me putting in the action is me getting closer to God, right? Is me getting closer to that desire that's within me.
Right.
Like that's a way of tapping into that. And does that make sense?
No, it does. Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah, because that's what.
Instead of listening to that fear of and letting it control you and not put in the work, when you're actively putting in the work,
Yeah.
making content,
Yeah.
it's allowing you to draw closer to to God because you're trying to do God's will in this situation.
Exactly. Yeah, like that in a way that is following God's will, you
Right.
know? So like think of it like you're being disobedient if you're not doing it.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, and like I got tired of feeling that the reason why I started to pursue it again is because I started it and then I stopped, and I just had this feeling of like I have to, like I'm called to do this. Why am I not doing it?
Yes.
You know, and I was tired of disobeying that power that was calling me. You know, and I know disobey is kind of like everybody has bias towards that word, but like that's the way I see it. Is I'm disobeying that power that's trying to guide me. You know, and so if I'm asking God for direction, He's giving me direction, and I'm not gonna take it.
No, yeah.
You know, then
No.
I'm thinking that it just goes back to what we were taught. You know, then I'm just trying to do it my way.
Yeah.
You know, and
It's because I feel like as of recent, it feels like I've been living two lives in a way. Like when I go on stream, I love it. I love gaming. Like, you know, I like that. I love streaming on Twitch, bro. Regardless
Yeah.
of what I'm doing, I just enjoy that aspect of it.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's been difficult to figure out what direction I want to go in, because a part of me wants to just do whatever everyone else is doing, but it's like in reality, like I'm not outside of streaming. I'm not doing that, you know. Like
I
I'm
see.
trying to get closer to God. I'm actively, you know, like in my program, staying sober,
Yeah.
dealing with my emotions and stuff. So I'm like, how do I start making content along those lines where I know that's truly where my heart's at, and that's where like that honesty is at, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, so I was talking to my sister about that, and she was like, Santana, like, you know how much people you think would want to watch that and like would be able to relate, you know, because so many people are going through
Yeah.
addictions in their self or just struggles in general. And you know, both of us being young, I just feel like we can tap into a different audience that a lot of people, honestly, I don't see anybody really tapping in like that, like online wise, like content creation, trying to help younger people that are the same age, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about trying to do something like that. And then plus, whenever I talk to you, and when I was at your house the last time, and you were talking to me about like what you had planned and stuff, in my head I was just like, man, like my content, like on like streaming games, like it's not providing value outside of just entertainment.
I see. Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to provide more value, so I got to start implementing other things. So that's like kind of where my mind's been at, like more day in the life type of things with myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I've been thinking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. And I think that's good, man. I think that when I started setting the intention of providing value of the things that I was going through on a regular basis, I started being more aware of what I was going through. You know, and because in the back of my mind is like, I got to share this with somebody, what I just went through.
Yeah.
You know, because I know that somebody has gone through a similar experience. And so, yeah, man, but the important thing is, though, that you're putting in the reps. You know, like you're already streaming, like you're already doing content.
Yes.
You're just looking at different avenues.
Right.
You know, and like, I feel like that's how you find your true purpose, is like constantly trying new things, you know?
That's true.
Because who knows, you might not even like the lifestyle stuff, you know? Like you might do it for a while and then you might not like it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know?
At least I'm like, okay, like that's something I don't want to tap in with. Let's try something else.
Yeah, yeah. And like, I don't know, I think other people might think otherwise, but that's where you truly see who truly messes with you.
Yeah, that's what I was
Where
gonna
it's
say.
like it doesn't matter what you do, like you're still gonna have those supporters.
Yes,
You
and
know?
that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, what's holding me back in reality? Because I
Yeah.
have a phone, I have somewhere to edit.
Yeah.
Why am I not just picking up the camera and like recording what I do on a daily basis as a person rather than just streaming a game, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's fear. It's the fear of being judged. It's the fear of letting people in closer into what I do and feeling like I'm going to get judged or, yeah, it's just that fear, back to always stemming back to fear, man.
Yeah.
So, but because like I told you, I just recently finally got a check from Twitch, which was really cool. Nothing crazy, but it's like like I just got
Yeah,
paid for
yeah.
doing what I
Exactly.
enjoy
Yeah.
doing, and I'm like, I like that. But then sometimes I reflect on the content I'm making. I'm like, man, I'm not like 100% proud of like, or I'm not like, oh yeah, like this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure. So I'm thinking of trying a new avenue and just seeing how it goes.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah.
being so like, how do you get over your fears with stuff? Because I know it's not easy for you to get vulnerable
Yeah.
behind the camera.
No, it's not, man. Like I am afraid, especially in the beginning, and especially because like the target audience that I was going towards, like I saw them on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, these guys, like all my friends are seeing me posting online, and that was kind of weird because it's like I'm that
Yeah.
guy that posts online about like motivational stuff or inspirational stuff or like stuff about sobriety, and so like I was that guy, and I felt like that for a while. But putting in the reps was what got me um, was what got me away from that fear, and definitely like just tapping into that thing that was pulling me towards was giving me that desire. In other words, it was God, right?
Right.
Like me getting closer to God was what took away that fear, because as we know that faith and fear, they can't coexist in the
No,
same. They can't
yeah.
coexist, right? Like they just can't.
Polar opposites.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so if I know that the way I tap into faith, or the way that I have faith is through my higher power or through God, like, and that's what I did, and then putting in the reps.
Putting in the reps.
Yeah, just posting and just, yeah. That's basically it. That's what I'm doing right now. Like I really don't care. um I don't care anymore what other people think about me
I love
anymore.
that, bro.
Yeah, and like that took a long time, bro, because I had this idea since I first got sober. Like, do you know how long that was? That was like 4.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've only been doing it for 2 years. But that it just kept pulling me and pulling me, and yeah, just pulled the trigger, and then yeah.
Yes, I think.
And it's amazing. It's amazing. Like the one thing aside from God that I've grown them that has affected my growth the most is content creation.
That's fire.
Yeah, aside from God, like that's the thing that has helped me grow, and I've only been doing it for 2 years, and I've seen like a tremendous amount of growth, and I haven't even been doing it consistently for 2 years.
Yeah.
I've only been doing it consistently for like the past 4 or 5 months.
You've been super consistent.
Yeah,
with it.
and I've just been like, I've seen the growth for sure. Yeah, within myself, the way I talk, the way I communicate, the way I think about myself, my confidence, the lack of caring of what other people think about me. Like that's huge for me,
Yeah.
and like it comes with all that stuff. Yeah. And I'm still not good at it.
Nah, bro.
I don't think I'm good at it still,
No, you're fire.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
that, but like I'm still like I'm like
still
I'm
more to
hungry.
go.
I'm
Yeah.
hungry, and and like the discipline is another part of that, right? And I just did a video about this. Is like why I forgot what I had titled it, but it was like why people. It was basically why people can't stay disciplined, and the reason why people can't stay disciplined is because they're tapping into the side of them that's against them, and they're not tapping into the side of them that is for them. And in my personal opinion, the side that's for me, I can't get access to that unless I get with God, like.
No, I hear you.
Because with us alcoholics, bro, like we're not on our own team.
No,
You
no,
know
bro,
that,
yeah.
And so like it's directly correlated, and I say this all the time, but it's directly correlated to whether I'm spiritually connected or not. Yeah.
No, that's a good point. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm not, like, that's something I've really been like thinking about. Is like, man, I'm tired of letting my brain control me.
Yeah.
Because my brain can be my worst enemy, bro.
Exactly.
Saying you're not
Exactly.
good enough. Why even try? You're gonna fail anyways. All these negative thoughts and like
Yeah.
catastrophizing.
Yeah.
And I'm just
yeah.
like, bro, I'm tired of letting that run my life because I've been letting it run my life for so long.
Exactly.
And if I continue to do that, then I'm never gonna want to try to do something that I thoroughly enjoy, like
Yeah.
making content.
Exactly.
So I think what I'm hearing is that I gotta tap in with God more, and as a result of that, it'll allow me to be disciplined and listen to that side of my brain, or that whatever's speaking to me, like Santana, you just need to keep grinding and doing this.
Yeah.
It's because like we always talk about it all the time. Like I don't want to have to work a 9 to 5 the rest of my life. I
Right.
really don't. I enjoy it. I feel like there's so many avenues to make money. Like why settle for that?
Yeah.
Especially at
Yeah.
the age we're at. No real baggage. Like no kids, no wives.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're just free to do what we want to do.
Exactly.
And I'm like, why not try to find a way to make a career out of something I love doing? But the thing is that at the same time, I don't want to let the money be my objective and then start sacrificing values that I have or
I see. Yeah.
things I believe in,
Yeah.
or you know what I mean, specifically like my values as a person and like
Right.
things that I want to strive to be. I don't want to start sacrificing those things because I'm like, oh well, I don't think people are gonna like that. Let me just start playing.
Yeah.
Let me just start putting this facade up now, and let's just get the money.
Yeah.
I don't want
Yeah.
to do it for that because then I already know it's not gonna be enjoyable.
Yeah, and then you're not gonna be true to yourself. Either.
Exactly, and then the
people
honesty's gone.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and the honesty is gone. That first principle. Damn, I was gonna say something, but I forgot. But yeah, I mean that's you don't have to though. Like God. People think that God doesn't want you to be wealthy.
Yeah.
And to me, those desires are God given, right? And like that's we could get into that, but that's
Yeah.
like scripture stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like God doesn't want, like God wants you to be wealthy. God wants you to be successful. God wants you to strive to be a better man. So you don't have to sacrifice your values for money.
Right.
Like the
That's
money will
facts.
come. Just follow your purpose.
Yeah.
It's they're correlated to each other. Your purpose and your wealth is correlated to each other, but you just got to figure out what your purpose is. You got to get good at it, and you got to find a way to serve other people.
That's
Right. And like this is all scripture stuff, like,
Mhm.
and we could get into that whole thing, but like that's like God wants those things, or else He wouldn't have planted that desire within you.
I agree. Yeah.
Especially
I agree.
being tapped into Him. Why would He put that desire in you?
Yes.
And so yeah.
So that's like
I love this. This is going good.
No, I like this,
Yeah.
bro.
And like this is we talk like this like every time we're on the phone.
100%,
Yeah, like this
100%.
is every time we link up.
That was just about to
Lately-
say. I was
lately,
like, bro,
yeah.
I forget that the camera's even on.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm just chopping it up with you.
Exactly, and that's the whole point. Like it's to be authentic.
So yeah, that's what the second question kind of fell into. I feel like we kind of tapped into a couple of them, but
Yeah.
I was one was like, how can I expand my brand to be not just gaming,
Yeah.
or just I feel like it's just mindless entertainment. And again, I enjoy gaming, but it's just like, bro, I don't want to make just mindless content.
Yeah.
Especially like when I talk to you and like I see your videos, I'm like, man, like he's actually providing something, even for me. Like the last video you dropped where it was just you talking to a camera. I think
Yeah.
it was about fear. No,
That one flunked too. I was mad.
Nah, bro, that one was good, man.
No, it was good.
Yeah.
I liked it. It flunked though. The algorithm.
yeah,
Yeah, it didn't like it. It's all good though.
It'll spin back.
But yeah,
It'll spin back. It's out there. Eventually, it's gonna pick up.
Yeah. And by the way, YouTube. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're
but YouTube Shorts has been like
Been blowing
popping.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been popping. Like for me at least. Like I think that's a good avenue to grow.
For sure.
Is the YouTube Shorts right now.
Cause I've been using a lot of I've been using TikTok Shorts. Cause I showed you one of the clips I posted would hit 32,000 views.
Yeah, that
With
was
like
on TikTok.
that was on TikTok with like
Okay,
800
okay,
likes.
nice.
But again, bro, that was just from me clipping a moment while streaming. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's super like it was cool. You know, it was like a little Easter egg in the game.
Mhm.
But I'm like, man, like I could just do TikTok reels and add value. And then I see a bunch of other people doing it. I'm like, bro, like I can do that.
Yeah. Why don't you just why don't you just implement that in your streaming already?
Like
You
what?
could already do that.
Like what do you mean?
Like what you go through. You know, like being vulnerable while you're streaming. Do you talk to anybody while you're streaming like
Yeah, I do.
like on Teams or something
Oh
or
no, no,
just
no,
your chat?
just a chat.
Okay, I
You know
see,
what I
I
mean?
see.
Just a
Yeah.
chat. But like I said, the streaming, like right now I'm at like 60 followers. I just hit Twitch affiliate, which was a grind in itself.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get more people to tap in.
Okay.
So like my main goal right now is like on Twitch you could dual stream, right?
Mhm.
Basically you could stream to multiple platforms at the same time, all through one
Oh yeah,
browser.
that's awesome.
Yeah, so on YouTube, basically, you gotta have 50 subscribers
Mm.
to start dual streaming on there. I got like 18 on YouTube right
Okay.
now, and but my thing is like, okay, if I'm gonna start making a different type of content, should I separate the two and make them two separate channels, or should I just drop it all on one channel? Cause you know about this.
Yeah. I did a lot of different things on a lot of different channels and it just got overwhelming for me.
Yeah.
And so that's why I am unable to focus on two different things at once, especially if they're big projects like this. Like, yeah, I'll do side projects, like I'll do music, I'll do like the woodworking stuff, and I'll do this and that.
Yeah.
But I'm hyper focused on building this brand. Like this is this takes priority over everything else.
Yeah.
You know, and so especially because I think I want to I want to tie my name into this now. You know, and I want to start building my personal brand.
For sure.
You know, and like the only downside that I have thought of is that the only downside of building your personal brand that I've thought of is that you have to, like, you can't really sell that company if you build a company and if it's your name, you know.
Okay.
So like you kind of have to be associated with it from the jump and then till the end, you know.
Or what if you just make your, like, for example, like, something I eventually want to do is, okay, I want people to start gaining, not like, I wouldn't say followers, supporters, because they like me, but as a result of that, eventually I can branch out and make clothes.
Yeah, yeah.
And
exactly.
now that's a whole brand, but it's not just a brand off of nothing. It's like, okay, I like Santana, I like what he does, I like his content, I want to support,
Yeah.
you know, if I like his clothes.
Yeah. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Like is to make your point or to answer your question is that's how I see it. It's like building a personal brand and then like
Branching out
will
into
come everything else.
Yes,
you know?
bro.
But yeah, I mean,
Because I think if you can get people to support you and like what you're doing and fully rock with you, then any other avenue you go into, if you go into with the same, you know, being honest,
Yeah.
you know, keeping the same values, I don't see why other people wouldn't want to support that as well if that's something they're interested in.
Right.
If they already are
Exactly.
interested in you.
Exactly, 100%. And think of it like the position that you're in. Do you really want to be running like 3 channels while you're working a full-time job? You know, it's already a grind to do one.
Both
Like,
jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
Both jobs.
2 jobs, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying it's already hard to do both jobs and to
Just stream alone.
start growing your streaming. So eventually, and this is probably like a limiting belief on my end, right? But I can't see me doing 3 channels and working a full-time job to try paying my bills, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather sacrifice all the time that I have right now to just build one thing
That makes sense.
and hyper focus on that and get good at that, you know? And
What's kind of coming to my head right now is like, okay, like the YouTube channel,
mhm.
just everything, streaming and things I want to do. But like when it comes to TikTok, I think it should be separate.
Okay.
Like just a gaming TikTok where I just drop like clips like I've been doing,
Yeah.
but then make a whole nother TikTok that is strictly for that content I want to make on a daily basis of just what I go through.
Yeah. I don't see why not.
And then like I said, bro, it's just different avenues that I could all lead back to one YouTube page, one streaming channel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
kind of what I'm thinking. Is what I want to like
Yeah.
kind of tap in with.
I would just do it, bro. I
But
would just
like-
do it and like learn later.
Yeah.
You know? Like just shoot now, then aim later, bro. Like start. Yeah.
And do you do it all from your phone?
What?
Like when you record like those personal videos,
No, I do it on the camera.
you do it on the
Yeah,
camera?
I do it on the camera.
That's what I'm like, man. Like, do I
Yeah.
need to just buy a camera
You
now
could just do. No, I would just do it with what you have.
on the iPhone?
What kind of iPhone you have?
The 13.
Yeah, you're straight. Yeah, you're straight.
Because remember when you used to do the ones where you were sitting in the chair?
That was on my phone. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I thought that would have been on your camera.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And I liked watching those. Not that I want to do those exact things, but like in that regard, like I want to just provide more
Dude,
meaningful content.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would just do it with what you have. I mean, we're doing this with what we have,
Yeah.
and it's cool to see people staying consistent online. Like the people that I look up to, it's cool to look back on how they started with absolutely nothing, and then and how they progressed online.
Yeah.
You know, and like that's a cool thing to see, and it's a cool and a very authentic way to see somebody.
Like the growth and the
Yes.
Yeah. That's,
Like they
that's
just
facts.
never stopped. Like nothing stopped them.
Yeah.
You know, they did it with what they had.
So let me ask you this, because that was one of my questions, man. How do you, or what habits or routines help you stay consistent and avoid burnout? Because, bro, I be seeing you drop every time a reel, like
Yeah.
the pattern they broke down on that video. I forget the guy's name, The Department.
Oh yeah.
I feel like you've been kind of sticking to that where you're dropping a YouTube video a week
Oh yeah.
and then you're dropping a reel every day.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, how do you stay motivated and determined to do that? And then on top of it, like, if you're not getting the results you want, how are you still like, you know what, I just got to keep doing it? And like, stay motivated, you know?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because I know for me, sometimes when I stream and I only got like 2 viewers in there and like I didn't get no new followers or, like no new followers or subs, like it can, sometimes I'll take it personally and be like, man, I'm just
Yeah.
not good enough. I
Yeah.
should just stop.
It's very exactly, yeah. But that's the thing. That's where it all starts, right there. What you said. It's the mindset, right? So I'm a product of what I consume, and so the more I started consuming positivity and listening to these speakers like Omar or Myron, the more I start, they're
So
fire.
fire,
Like go
yeah.
check out their channel.
Carlos put me on, man. That's so fire.
The more I started listening to them, is like it changed the way I thought about myself, and it all stems from the belief in yourself, you know? And, like, that's what overrides, other than God, that's what pretty much overrides anything. And then there's a couple different aspects to that, too. And also, the way that, I forgot who said it, but that when you're feeling discouraged, like, that's where that separation happens between you and other people. The moment that you're discouraged, you're like, oh damn, this is what stops so many people, so I'm gonna keep going.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
because I know that nobody's gonna continue. Like once they reach this point, this is what nobody's doing. This is why they can't stay consistent. You know, and that's the separation. Like, and that's what drives me. It's like,
So when you get those thoughts of discouragement,
Yeah.
you look at it all as like,
this is an opportunity for me to be not better than, but for me to be to separate, you know,
Like to not just fall
to
off
be
like
different.
everybody.
Yeah, to be
Yeah,
different.
that's
Um,
what I need to do, man.
yeah, and like that too, the belief in yourself. You know, the moment you start saying that you're gonna do something and you stick to it, it's directly correlated to your confidence, right? So don't tell yourself that you're gonna do something, and then when you don't do it, it subconsciously it messes with your confidence, and it messes
Yeah.
with the belief in yourself, because it's like, oh well, and now your words just don't mean anything anymore.
Yeah,
Not to yourself, you
or
know.
you don't even trust yourself.
Exactly, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Hey, I wanted to take a quick second and thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch these videos. Hope you're enjoying the conversation as much as I am. If these videos have impacted you in any way possible, I would greatly appreciate it if you hit the like and subscribe button. And if there's anything that you would like to see, whether it be like character development, something that has to do with recovery or spiritual growth, let me know in the comments and I'll implement it on my next video. Once again, thank you so much for your time. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah,
Eh,
because I was watching one of the Myron,
Yeah.
the newest one where he was on the department and he was talking about making $1 million,
Yeah,
and he was like, "Who says it's hard? Where did that belief come from?"
exactly.
And I'm like, man, like he's right. Like why is it that I think making $1 million is hard?
Yeah,
No one put that in my head, or like there's no proof to show that it's hard. I
exactly.
just it's a thought that got implanted in me, and I just consumed it.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm like, so I've been like,
And it's from the beliefs that somebody stemmed in you,
yeah,
from your past, the people that you hang around with, the things that you listen to, right? Like these are the things that impact the beliefs that you have, right? And like your beliefs are connected to your actions, basically.
that's
you know?
fire.
And like this is all stuff I've just been learning,
Yeah.
right? And dude, I've seen a tremendous amount of change in the way that I look at myself and my ability to take on anything that's in front of me.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. And overall, like just being behind the camera, I feel like it just helps with interactions with other people.
Mhm.
Because I remember I used to be so shy and like so like
Yeah.
afraid to like say anything.
Mhm.
But ever since I've been like streaming and behind the camera and like trying to just work through the uncomfortability,
Yeah.
I find that now when I'm put in positions where I got to talk or I got to like share something or
Yeah.
whatever, like it's no longer I'm scared to do it. It's like
Yeah.
let's do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I'm
exactly.
ready for this.
Exactly. And that's where that separation is, right? Because people avoid the discomfort.
Yeah.
But when you're able to confront the that discomfort, that's what starts separating you from the rest, everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, and like that, when you have that mentality implanted in you, you just move different, because you know that nobody's gonna be doing whatever you're doing. Yeah,
And I
but
think-
it comes with putting in the reps of facing that discomfort. Like you said, see, like you're starting to see the growth.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, within yourself, and that's really cool. And that's what it's all about. It's the person that you're gonna become, and damn,
No.
somebody's trying to get in here. It's the person that you're gonna become,
Yeah.
and then like how you're gonna pass that on to other people.
Right.
You know?
Should we pause right here? And
Nah, we're not pausing.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay. All right, we'll just pick it up. We'll
Yeah.
just cut it. That
Yeah.
was so crazy.
I don't know who that is. Nobody's supposed to be here till 6. So
Oh,
yeah,
so-
no, we're
damn.
good. Yeah,
All right.
we're good.
No, because I was thinking about what you were saying, man, about the content you consume.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, if everyone else is letting that part of their brain discourage them to not do things, why am I going to listen to those people?
Right.
So I think, like you said, it's very important on who you're listening to,
Mm-hmm.
like, outside of just like on YouTube or whatever, like
Yeah,
certain
yeah.
people, who are you listening to, and then also who you surround yourself with.
Mm.
Because every time I'm with you and we're talking about this, man, it gives me that motivation and that drive, and like, you know what, this is something I can do, or this is something that is obtainable.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be some work,
Yeah.
So it's like, are you willing to put in the work, Santana, or not?
Yeah.
And those are the type of people I'm trying to stay
Exactly.
connected to. Like you said, we're trying to build a team,
Yep.
and like I'm right there with you, bro. Like I think a team is super important.
Yeah, yeah, and like that's pretty much it's not the whole point of this, but that's one of the aspects of this is like I want to have a community of people that motivate each other because there's just too much like negativity going on, and it like yeah, it's cool and it's funny and it's entertaining in the moment, but in the long run, like none of that stuff is gonna be good for your kids or for your future generations. Like you complaining all the time about why things aren't happening the way that you want them to, or just acting like a victim and pointing the finger, or all these limiting beliefs, or like all this fear, like being ran by fear. Like I don't want my future generation to live like this, and I don't want
Yeah.
my friends to live like this either. Because I genuinely care, I genuinely care about them, and so like yeah, and we've seen this like with our own families or with the people that we
Yeah,
hang out with. Like we are a product of what we consume.
for sure.
Exactly,
No, my sobriety. Not, I mean, like my sobriety now isn't like before my sobriety. Like
Yeah.
that's exactly what got me in that position.
Mhm.
Obviously, there's other things that stemmed into there, but it was the people I was surrounding myself with that started opening doors into areas that I didn't want to go, that I didn't want, or negative doors.
Yeah.
And it's funny that, the moment I got sober and I started surrounding myself with people that were doing the work, sponsoring guys, now I'm here 2 years sober.
Yep. Exactly.
And it just like is an example for me in my personal experience that the people you surround yourself with will have a major impact on what
Exactly.
you do.
Yep.
So like,
Exactly.
yeah. Let me see here.
And that keeps changing too. The more you grow.
Because that's what I was thinking about. I wanted to, when I start making more like personal content, I wanted it to be more about my journey in sobriety. 25 years old, like what it looks like or what I do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Not like specific, but just like an idea of what I do. Eventually get into clothes, like doing like reviews, like just me as a person,
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, like you said, growing into a better person really is what I want to like document and show other people to either inspire them or give them some advice of things that they might be going through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like what you're doing already.
Yeah, exactly.
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 But I feel
Yeah,
like
and there's a lot of people doing it, but you just gotta. And I still haven't found that gap where I guess I'm different. Yeah, like yeah, I'm myself, but I'm still trying to find that gap of where I can really feed into like the difference. What separates me between the other person that's saying motivational stuff or spiritual stuff. Like I'm still trying to find that gap.
yeah.
And that's still a challenge, but you find that. I believe that you find that gap through just starting
Just
to do
starting it, yeah.
just starting to do it, and like when you start to do it, your creativity just expands tremendously too. Like the ideas that you have right now, just wait till you have the ideas. Wait till you start doing it, and your ideas are just gonna be like you're gonna have to start writing them down because they're so overwhelming.
That's fire.
Yeah, they just start coming to you, and like even right now as you're talking, like I'm thinking of ideas for you already. And like that's just how my mind is operating now.
That's fire.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
Cause yeah, like I was gonna ask you, have you figured out, or like what habits or routines, like do you do on a daily basis then?
Yeah, so that's a good question.
Like that's to help you stay motivated. Like, is
Yeah.
it journaling? Is it? I saw
Yeah.
your whiteboard. Like what is it that you feel like on a daily basis like keeps you going?
Yeah, definitely.
Like practical things that I could implement into my routine or my schedule.
Yeah. So obviously praying, meditating, and then listening to people that you look up to. That you look up to their beliefs, that you look up to the way they carry themselves, and yeah, just feeding your mind with that is what I've been doing lately, and then reading scripture has been huge.
I started opening up my Bible, man.
It's man. I'm on Romans right now.
For real?
Yeah, and so I've been reading it every day for like the past. I think it's been like 5 months now. Yeah,
That's
and
fire.
it's really changed me a lot. And then
Why'd you pick Romans? Just curious.
no, I'm on Romans right now. Like I'm reading
Oh,
Romans right now.
oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay. Where'd you start at?
I started in the New Testament.
Okay,
Yeah,
I forget where
or
that.
the gospel. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
gospel. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the New Testament, I
yeah, the New
believe.
Testament. And so yeah, I don't like yeah, just studying it is it's a game changer for sure.
Yeah, because I think about, when you started showing me, when you put me on to Myron Gordon,
Yeah,
right? That's his name, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
he's like life changing.
Yeah, bro. I just love the way he talks about things,
Yeah.
bro. And then like when he brings up the Bible scriptures,
Hmm.
and like it's not even like in a religious way. It's just
Yeah.
so like natural, and like I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Let me start opening my Bible and start reading it, because I
Exactly.
believe in God. So why not just do that?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And like all the people, yeah, like all the people that I look up to, bro, like they have a faith. They have faith in God and they have a relationship with God.
Yeah.
You know, and so like to try to strengthen that, and then yeah, like listening to Myron was just a complete changer for me to open, yeah, to open my Bible
Just
and to
start
start reading
implementing
it.
it
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
Cause I was gonna so I was gonna ask you. So you were talking about how you were thinking about ideas, and
mhm.
that's definitely something I wanted to see what was on your mind. Like, what are some things that you think I could start creating?
What I just thought about right now, when you were talking, is that you said you like clothes, and you could do like a fit for the day while saying something like something that you've learned this week on a spiritual basis, you know, or
Mm,
something that you struggled with, on like a voiceover, you know,
yeah,
and like just being vulnerable like that. I don't see anybody doing that. A fit for the day while being vulnerable on camera and talking about what their struggle was for this week.
that's fire.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like you keep doing that and it's just the video is gonna get better. Like we're not pros at editing or anything like that, but
like you said, just starting.
exactly, like putting in the reps and then you get better at it. But yeah, something like that would be sick. I haven't seen anybody do that.
You know what's funny is the moment you tell me that, the first thought that came into my head is like, Santana, you have nothing valuable to say for somebody to actually care about what you're saying.
See? Yeah.
It's just crazy
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
It's
Exactly.
automatic, That's why I was like,
Exactly.
I got to get it out to start
Yeah.
changing the way my brain works.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. And like that goes, yeah. I mean, we both know that goes a lot deeper, you know, and that was implanted in us when we were younger, you
Yeah.
know, and like also there's that spiritual aspect of it too, where like it's a spiritual warfare, you know. But yeah, it's crazy, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's crazy.
Cause I also like think about what you're doing, and I'm like, man, like how could I like? Cause even though we make different content, I'm like, how can they be incorporated in a certain sense?
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, like if I start talking about what I do and trying to be better, like as a person and stuff, that obviously correlates with what you do on
Mhm.
your YouTube platform and your Instagram and stuff. And I'm like this, for
Yeah.
example,
Yeah.
like just chopping it up. Now it
Right.
makes sense, or now it's correlated.
Yeah.
And when you were talking about how like it was like you said mindless, like in the moment it's funny, but down
Oh
the
yeah.
line, like that thing, that's what I've been feeling recently. I'm like, the content that I do, like what I want to show like my kids that,
I
or
see. Yeah.
or what I want, or like what I want my mom to watch this and be like, oh, she's gonna be proud of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it's like in reality, I'm like, not that she won't be proud, but I'm definitely not like doing anything
Mhm.
inspirational or anything that like
Right.
I know I could be doing. So that's what's really been going through my head is like, what can I do to make better, meaningful content?
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think like just starting on TikTok, like just doing it.
Yeah, 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 for sure, man. And if you want to get like real technical, which I don't usually do this, I just run with one idea, and then like just to start, right? It's like I'll just run with one idea, like I have been doing, but just have a date with your thought, you know, like write down your thought and like brainstorm, you know. And a lot of people don't do that. They talk about doing it, but they don't talk. They don't actually like put pen to paper, and then just asking yourself, Like, what can I do? What that question you're asking me, like,
Yeah.
ask yourself, and then like get with God about it, and just write it down.
Cause I would love like to like be like right now I could have been TikToking this like watching go record a YouTube video
Yeah.
with Carlos
Yeah.
about this and like you know what I'm saying, like there's so many things I'm like, bro, I could be recording this and making content, but it's like I haven't hit that avenue yet, so I'm like I just need to start doing that so then I could start picking up the camera and then maybe eventually like recording YouTube videos of just like a day in the life and just with you,
Yeah.
like a whole day where we were just doing things, you know.
Yeah.
So like yeah, that's some things that I've been like thinking about recently.
Yeah, I mean, it will evolve, man. I think it will evolve.
What
Yeah,
are have you figured out any ways like, cause like one thing I've been trying to figure out like, cause on Twitch you make the income through the ads, through people subscribing,
Yeah.
through people donating or like you can like pay money to like have like a certain effect or
Yeah.
something on stream, but I've been trying to figure out how to monetize my how to monetize more than just that.
I see.
Because I know
Yeah.
that was something you said you were trying to figure out how to do for your
Yeah.
YouTube page outside of just getting subscribers and view time, you know?
Right, right.
Have you figured out any other?
Oh, have I figured out?
Yeah.
Not really. No, not really. I do have a couple ideas in mind. And I have been planning some stuff out. But no, not really. Right now, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not doing it for money, but it will eventually turn into that. And I have thought of like you said, like products.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
And like that's one way that like even if you don't have a lot of subscribers, is like you can start monetizing yourself depending on what you do. So like if you're a real estate agent and you're like grinding on YouTube and you only have like 300 subscribers, you can just start monetizing by just like letting people know what you do, letting them know that you're good at it and that you're the best at it, and you can get something out of that. Like you don't have to wait for YouTube, you don't have to wait for Twitch. Just look at what you're good at, figure out a way how you can serve other people or solve another person's problem by your expertise, and people value that,
That's fire, yeah.
People value that, like especially saving somebody time is the most valuable thing that you can offer.
That's,
you
yeah.
know? And so like that's just something that you'd have to get with yourself, right? Like what am I good at? How can I serve somebody else and save them time? And then like how can I start monetizing my channel without waiting for YouTube, without waiting for Twitch,
Yeah. No, that makes
And
sense.
so like
man.
that's the avenue that I'm looking at, because I'm not gonna wait for YouTube.
No, yeah, I don't
I'm not gonna wait for YouTube, bro. I gotta figure something out really soon. And I have been, but like I've dabbled with products, like as you know.
Yeah.
And I'm not really trying to do that. I'm trying to provide a service.
So you're done with the product making?
I'm not done with it for good. I do have a couple products in mind, but it's just like what do I want to stick to right now, kind of thing, because like I have ideas, but I don't want to overwhelm myself at the same time. So yeah, that's a good way to. So like for example, I do woodworking at work.
Yeah.
Right. If I had a woodworking channel, I can just start providing value in that way.
Bro, that'd be crazy.
Exactly. And I've thought about that too. And I was like, damn, like I just like too much stuff, man. Because I like clothes, I like woodworking, I like this, I like that. And I'm trying to I'm trying to train my brain to think that like not everything has to be a business. It could just be my hobby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can relax. But this is a way that I've been thinking about, like making money, is like coaching people and starting them on a content plan. Just for now, until I start getting good at something that I'm really passionate about, and I can serve people. But that's an avenue that I thought about, is like, how can I start and make a content plan for somebody and just feed them ideas that they can do, and they'll pay me for that because they have a lack of creativity and I don't.
Nah, bro.
You know what I mean?
Bro, you got a lot of creativity, man. With the music,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
clothes.
No, like other people lack creativity, but they can feed off mine.
No, that's what
You
I'm
know?
saying.
Yeah,
Like you're the
like
perfect person because
ex-
you dabbled into a
yeah.
lot of things,
And the
bro.
thing about it is that creativity is a limitless asset.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like if I pay
yeah.
something, like if I pay something with money that I exchanged my time for, that's limited because time is a limited asset,
Right.
right? But like if I can provide value for somebody with my creativity, I don't have less creativity. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can only have more.
Exactly.
Dang.
But if I pay for something that I exchanged my time for, I'm paying with my time, and that's a limited asset. You
Mm.
know? And so like it's just kind of getting creative with it and how can I provide creative value and limitless value, you know?
So when it comes to this content plan, what do you think? Obviously, I know I'm just asking you on the
Yeah.
spot, so I'm not expecting like, oh, let's break it down, boom,
Yeah,
boom,
yeah.
boom. Excuse me. Just from what we talked about, like, what would you say is like after everything I've kind of given you, kind of my ideas, like what I want
Yeah.
to kind of start changing my avenue into, like, what would you say is a good content plan that I can start implementing for
Yeah.
you that you're like, okay, I can see this working out.
Just utilize your social media and like what I just said, right? Like you like clothes.
Yeah.
Fit for the day kind of lifestyle thing. Record what you do. It doesn't have to be a lot of clips, like 5-second clips. Do a voiceover of like what you learned this week. You know, get vulnerable on camera. A fit for the day, right? Like you
Yeah.
like clothes. You got your Bape on. I don't know what kind of jeans those are, and then you got the what, threes or the
Yeah.
fours? Yeah, and then
That's tough.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then so like that, and I'll just start posting that until you think about something else, you
I
know,
think
or you
that's
like music, right? Like
yes.
doing a live, like a stream reaction of a new album that just dropped. You know what I
That's
mean?
fire. Yeah.
Like what we were talking about the other day, you know, and that's another thing that, but it's kind of like, yeah, it's the same boat as me. Like I just like too much stuff, you know, so I would just stick with maybe one and try to reach one target audience.
I think I just need to. Yeah. I think the definitely start tapping into getting more vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
on on TikTok. I'll probably just make a new TikTok page and just like, cause I know how you said you kind of want to, if this works out or if this video comes out good, like coming back every month.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, like if that's something we got to do, I don't want to come back next month and I'm like, oh, I haven't even started yet, guys.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like
Exactly.
that motivation that okay, like I need to start putting in some action. So when we sit down again, if that's what's to come, I'm like, all right, this is what I've been doing. These are
Exactly.
the results.
Exactly.
And then now the people that are watching can be like, oh shoot, a month ago he was feeling some type of way
Yep.
about it, and now he's been doing it, and he's talking about the
Exactly.
results.
Exactly. So now you're holding yourself accountable.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know? Yeah, bro, and like, yeah, I mean, I think this is going great. I think I love this. Yeah, like it's kind of all over the place a little bit. Like, there's not a strict topic yet, but I think this is great. I
Hey,
love doing this.
Hey, like
Yeah.
you said, bro, we just gotta start.
Exactly.
You know what
Exactly.
I'm
That's
saying?
what I'm saying. And like somebody just try to come in the freaking door, like this is all. I don't know what's going on out there, but yeah, I mean this can be a thing, you know, and it can benefit the both of us.
Yeah.
And that's a cool thing about podcasts because that's the way that you can win somebody's trust is long form content, getting vulnerable, them learning about us. You know, that's what I do. I learn about people, and that's how Omar has won my confidence.
That's
You know, is
fire,
because
yeah.
I feel like I already know him.
Yeah.
You know, because I've listened and watched him so much, and he's provided so much value to me that I wouldn't mind giving him money just because of the life-changing experience that he has given me for free.
Bro, I feel that.
All I've done is I've exchanged my time and my attention that has only benefited me, you know?
He don't even
And
he's
he
not even
does-
making no money off of that.
Exactly. And like in a way he is, you know, because it's like it's sort of, I don't want to call it like a lead, but it kind of is. Like you're providing so much value that people are willing to pay you money and not even flinch,
Yeah.
you know?
It's funny because like when they talk about like Myron, when he talks about his training course, I'm like, man, if I had that money, I think I would.
Yeah.
I think he convinced me, or I think
Yeah.
his words alone and like how he conducts himself, I'm like,
Exactly.
here, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Obviously, I don't got. He charges a crazy amount.
I know, but Omar doesn't though.
Were you planning on doing a?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
You're gonna do
I'm
it,
gonna do it. Yeah.
bro. I need to know how that goes.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
That's even tight because it's like, okay, I may have some doubt, but it's like if you do it and you're like, bro, like this was a game changer.
Yeah.
It's like, man, maybe I should just run it.
Yeah, and the thing about that too is like it's not so much the stuff that he has in that course, he has probably already said it on a YouTube video. But because I'm paying more attention. So whoever pays more attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes you're just paying to hold yourself accountable.
That's a good point.
To keep growing. You know? Like all these masterminds, all these courses, people think it's a ripoff, but to be honest, I don't think so.
No.
Like you're paying for an experience and you're paying to feed your mind and you're paying to pay attention.
That's a good point,
Right?
bro.
Because people value things that they pay for.
I look at it like therapy, bro. It's like I can get all the advice from people, the free advice that I need from people, but when I'm paying like when I was going to therapy, when I was paying for her when I was paying her for her therapy sessions and she's giving me advice on, okay, Santana, you need to start doing these things. I'm like, it'd be a waste of time for me not to implement it if that's what I'm paying for her to do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's a good point. I never looked at like, because when you first told me that, I'm like, bro, really? You gonna drop a bag on that?
I know, and I will. You know, I will. Like I'm investing in myself because I'm betting on myself.
Yeah.
You know, and
that's definitely.
I believe it's gonna work.
Yeah.
I believe it's gonna benefit me in some sort of way.
Of course, no, it will, especially with that mentality.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like I was telling Trenton, what was I telling him? Oh, he
Mr.
was like,
Turks.
I'm glad. Yeah, he was like, I'm glad because I was looking for another mic. And I asked him, and he was like, and I was like, yo, I found somebody else. Don't worry about it. He was like, I'm glad you found a solution. I was like, there's always a solution in my world, bro.
That's
you know what I mean?
fire.
Like, there's always because it's the mindset of like, hey, I got to ask myself, how is this going to work instead of like, why isn't this working?
I like that.
Yeah, and like that's the shift in perspective.
It's like instead of focusing on the problem, you're focusing on the solution.
Yes, exactly.
Cause bro, I can waste my energy and time on, I don't got enough followers, or my streams aren't performing well, or
Exactly.
why isn't these things happening? And it's like, bro, why not focus on, okay, what other content can I provide?
Exactly.
What other ways can I continue to grow? Like you said, instead of like we learned, instead of focusing on the outcome, what input can I focus on?
Exactly. And that's a life-changing mentality that not a lot of people have.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, is the fact that nothing is missing. You know, like, and yeah. But yeah, I think we'll end it right there. I think we're like an hour in.
Yeah, no.
I appreciate you doing this with me, man. Like I said, you're a friend of my mind, and I'm glad that we're doing this. And we'll keep. Yeah, I'm down to keep doing it, and we'll
just see
we'll
what
like
happens.
organize it, right? Like we'll fiddle with it, and we'll finesse it into like something more polished.
Yeah.
You know? And then we'll get. This is our first go.
Yeah.
So.
And I feel like obviously from this rough go, we can figure out, okay, these are the things we talked about, build like some sort of plan.
Exactly.
Not like a script-based thing, but just like a plan on what things we want to touch on.
Exactly, yeah.
And then just continue to go from there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this is fire, bro.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Thank you.
Love it, bro. Appreciate
Love
y'all,
you too,
YouTube.
bro.
Appreciate y'all who's watching.
Santana streams.
Yeah, Santana streams.